Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Mattel Creations exclusive Masters of the Universe Origins Wun-Dar. Now before we get into it here, let's first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, Wun-Dar does come with his own unique mini comic, which I may have cut by accident by trying to open the figure, so yeah, that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Really awesome cover art though. He's fighting those skeleton guys and this big purple Cyclops monster. And there's the back. Now, I'm not going to spoil this for anyone who hasn't got this figure yet, or anyone who plans on picking up this figure on the secondary market, because that is how it is. Looking inside here, I gotta tell you, the fact that this guy is eating sliced bread is a very clever pun. I'll give you that. So, other than that, you gotta get your own to know the rest of the story. That said, Wun-Dar also comes with 3 different weapons. First of which being this awesome sword, which I don't have this, at least not in Origins form. I've had the Classics one before, but I have since gotten rid of that because I'm kind of trying to condense my collection a little bit. That said, I think this is the same sword that comes with the Grayskull playset in this line. It's on the weapons rack, and I do believe it's coming with the new Teela and Zord 2-pack. That said, he also comes with the Zodak pistol, which for being a savage version of He-Man, kind of ironic he comes with a Space Age type weapon. And he also comes with an axe. This is, of course, the Buzz-Off axe, which is also reused with Snout Spout, who I have coming in from BBTS soon, so that'll be cool. Looking forward to that, but with that being said, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I would like to give a massive shout out to my good buddy Evil Villain for hooking this guy up. I'll leave a link in the description below to his Instagram. Head on over there, give him a follow, let him know Overlord sent you. But don't be a dick, or I'll find you, because without him, I probably wouldn't have this figure. So I can't thank him enough for that. Taking a closer look at Wun-Dar here, and this may come as a shock to a lot of you because I am quite the Masters fan. I don't really give a shit about Wun-Dar. I grew up in 2000X, okay, so back then we didn't have anything like this. There was no brown-haired He-Man variant. There was a shitload of He-Man variants, but nothing like this. And this is not something you can't make on your own, right? You take some black paint, some brown paint, get that vintage head He-Man off Amazon, buy the vintage black Zodak armor, which I do believe is fairly affordable, and, you know, I don't think these weapons are all that expensive either. You gotta easily throw this guy together. Yeah, you'd know what it was, but I don't think anyone else would, or really care. So, you know, everyone's making a big deal out of this. It could be worse. It could be a character that is got new parts on it. Like, to be honest with you, I think the Triclops is a little better than this guy just because it's different. This is all reuse. There is nothing new here. But that's just me. I always talk about value per dollar, and while I do think this is worth the money, I don't know if I'd pay the 50-60 bucks people are getting for it. That said, if you want it in your collection, you really don't have a choice, so I do understand it from that perspective. That said, this is one of the few times I've actually loosened up the armor on one of these so I could fit the sword on the back. Now, that's probably not ideal, but it's what I like to do. I like to have all the weapons on my figures, so it is what it is. Less stuff I throw in a bag, the better, right? As far as articulation goes, he's got a double ball peg in the head, which works pretty well, and I'm sure this is going to make some of you cry, but there, I decapitated Wun-Dar. It's not that hard to do. I don't know if the skin tone matches He-Man. I would assume it does. Shoulders go out to the side, they go back down, they rotate forward and back. I would like to see this angle changed at some point because they do rotate at a bit of a weird angle. If you straighten them out, they kind of rotate 360, but they kind of move up. It's very weird. So I would like to see that angle maybe straightened out, but I do understand that it is the vintage style, and that's the way they were, but I don't think those moved in that much. It's like he's got a bicep swivel, but he doesn't. It's nothing I've really commented on in this line before, but it does limit posability a little bit. That said, he does have a single jointed elbow with rotation. He does have swivel at the wrist with a hinge, the inappropriate hinge, but it is a hinge nonetheless. He's got waist swivel. He's got T-jointed hips that kick out to the side, back down, forward, and back. He does have a swivel at the knee as well as a detented hinge. The hell is that? Yeah, if you haven't noticed, the overall QC on this guy is gangbusters compared to a lot of figures in this line. Even some of the ones I've looked at recently, like the Horde Trooper and Clawful, they didn't have this type of detent in the knee. So I do really like that, and hope this is the way of the future with this line, because that is awesome. That said, he does have a boot swivel, as well as a hinge in the foot, which is also a little bit heavier detented than normal. And he also has the rocker with peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So, really awesome. I like this guy. I'm not crazy about him, but I do like him. I think more or less because of the overall quality of the figure. It's just so top-notch, it's hard for me to knock on him, even though I don't have any nostalgia or connection with this character. Shy of the mini-comic, which adds to his backstory quite a bit, which I have to say, it's a pretty well-written mini-comic. I think that's probably one of the best mini-comics ever, vintage or new, which is a bold statement because I've pretty much heard or checked out both, thanks to Podcasters in the Universe, actually. So, with that being said, let's move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up here is Wun-Dar next to a couple other Origins figures, Zodak and He-Man. If you were to take these two and throw them into a blender, you'd pretty much have Wun-Dar. Just need to change a couple of paint apps here and there. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, 11 Spawn, who as usual towers over everyone. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the total cluster that is the drama surrounding this figure, gotta keep it 100 and say that this is just an okay release for the MOTU Origins line. Now I know that may come off as surprising to some of you, considering I totally lucked out in getting a hold of this guy, but I don't have a whole lot of connection or nostalgia for Wun-Dar as a character. Growing up with 2000X, we didn't have anything like this back then, and in my personal opinion, the best thing about Wun-Dar's character is the mini-comic that comes packaged with this figure that delves into his backstory a little bit deeper. That said, as far as overall quality goes, this is by far one of the best figures in the Origins line as a whole, so I have to commend Mattel for that. That said, maybe next time when you're going to release a character everyone wants, don't make it a pain in the ass to get. Okay, guys? So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you are so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. And if you haven't already, please hit up my good buddy Evil Villain over on Instagram. I will leave a link in the description below. Head on over there, give him a follow, let him know Overlord sent ya. While you're at it, don't forget to hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. Especially when, well, this figure is just about as rare as the vintage one. I mean, is this going to be half a grand a couple years from now? I hope not. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.